I am the maker and the designer behind Yessy's Designs. I am so glad that you're here. I haven't released a podcast in a long time. It has been quite a few months. 2022 was a very hard year in many ways, and I just couldn't bring myself to record a podcast. So I'm going to start to be more consistent, and I hope that you guys enjoy the content that I'm bringing you from here. I live in Connecticut. For the ones that are not familiar with my work, I was born and raised in Colombia. I have lived in a few countries. We have been living in the US for a long time now. And I live in the Litchfield County in Connecticut, on top of a hill surrounded by farms, all kinds of animal, and many, many, many trees. In my studio here where I'm recording, this is where most of the action happen, all the designing, all the making, all the ideas that I try to put into yarn. And a lot of them, they get to see the world. A lot of them, they are work in progress. And some of them, I don't think you are going to see. And I think as a designer, it can be quite daunting to design what other knitters would enjoy working on as well. I would like to show you now some of the pieces that I have been working on recently. There are not that many because a lot of them, they are already in their forever homes. I failed to take pictures of them. And the other thing is that in 2022, I started to design, or not to design, I really put myself together and I was like, this is the year that I'm going to release garment knitting patterns. So I've been designing sweaters for about 3 years now. And this is the year that this 2023 is the year that I'm going to start releasing knitting patterns. So if you are familiar with my work, meaning that you are following me, for example, on Instagram, or if you are subscribed to my newsletter, you are familiar with the Milagros sweater knitting pattern. So I'm going to put in here some pictures of how this sweater looks. This is a basic raglan sweater. It's one of those sweaters that it's very easy to combine. You can wear it with jeans, skirts. It can be for a casual outfit, a more elegant outfit. And I wanted to start building up my wardrobe and the one from my children's wardrobe and my husband. I wanted to start building up our wardrobe with pieces that are very easy to combine. So I'm starting with the Milagros sweater in child sizes. So now this pattern is currently under testing. My testers are making beautiful, beautiful sweaters, and I am so looking forward to see the final result on their parts and also to release this pattern to the world. This pattern is designed with advanced beginner knitters in mind. So meaning that if you know how to do the net stitch, if you know, for example, how to knit in the round, if you really want to put yourself out there and start making garments, this raglan, it's a very good option because the construction is top down. You don't need to do any seaming, but there are a few things that you're going to learn in the way. For example, how to do the increases on the raglan, how to divide the sweater. And I'm going to leave it open for everybody to decide how long they want their sweater, if you want a short sleeve, longer body. And there are some things that I'm planning for the raglans that I have already made for my daughter. I think I have made for her about, I'm going to say like 4. And there are some things that I'm thinking of doing or that I started doing already with the raglans that I have made for my daughter, the Milagros sweater that I have made for her. And it's embroidery touches. So the meaning behind the Milagros sweater, behind the name, it's going to be explained in a blog post. So once the pattern is released next month on February 2023, I am going to talk to you a little bit more about why did I choose the name Milagros for this sweater. And hopefully by then, I'm going to be able to show you some of the embroidery that I have made, at least in one of the sweaters, and why that brings it together with the name. It is a very, very special pattern. The pattern, the name, and the meaning behind it, it's very, very close to my heart. So with that, again, if you have been following my work, all the pieces that I release, the names of all the knitting patterns, the names of those knitting patterns, there is usually a meaning behind the name. It could be the name of a relative that is very special to us. Not to say that the other ones are not. It's like the it's a special name. There is a reason why that pattern has that name, and some of them, they are areas that we enjoy here where we live. So we name the pattern with the name of that area or how that area is called, and it's just very special to me to decide on a name. The yarn that I'm featuring for this sweater is Basic Stitch from Lion Brand Yarn. It's a beautiful, beautiful soft yarn, worsted weight. And I have made one sweater with this yarn, the one that is featured in the knitting pattern. And after I made that one, I made quite a few for my daughter in Pound of Love. This is also a beautiful yarn. It comes in quite a few colors that are very sweet. So I have made her one in off-white, in lavender, in like a turquoise color. I made one for my son in green. They're beautiful, beautiful colors, and they are very easy to take care of. So, sorry. For example, with my daughter, both of my children are very tall, but the yarns that I'm choosing for her, being acrylic, they are easy to take care of. She's gonna be using these sweaters. I'm really hoping for at least 2 winters, because I made them 2 sizes bigger than the size that she's currently in right now. I have been washing these sweaters in the washing machine quite a few times, because they have been wearing theirs for quite a few months, and the yarn stays beautiful. It's very soft. It just gets better with time, and I'm really hoping that they can use them as much as possible. If it was on my side, I would be happy to make them in all the colors, in all of them. So I'm gonna wait for this year. For winter to be done this year, and see where she is. Like how tall she is getting right now, and then start choosing some yarns to see if I can make her more Milagro sweater, in case that I don't think the ones that she's having right now are really going to fit. So needless to say, knitting garments takes a lot of time, so there are not many other pieces that have been made. But I'm gonna put in here right now one of the hats that I just finished just a few days ago, not even a week ago. Today is January 26, 2023, and I finished this hat maybe on last weekend, and it's a beautiful hat. Last December, Line Magazine had a few giveaways. I won one of the giveaways. I got this book, one of their new books that is absolutely beautiful. It's The Knitted Fabric by Dee Hardwick, and all the projects are absolutely breathtaking. It's beautiful, beautiful work. And Line Magazine also sent me the yarn needed to make 2 of the pieces from this book. So here in the picture you're gonna see the homecoming hat, and I finished that. I used the Tuku wool yarn for this piece, the same yarn that Dee used for her sample here for this book. And now I have to make the gloves. So that is gonna be one of the projects that I'm hoping to start very soon, so I can continue building up my handmade wardrobe, and I can use these gloves before the winter is all over. So I'm looking forward to that. So that's one of the projects that I recently finished. And I have been also working in the last couple months, at least, I've been working on 2 new patterns that are gonna be released. One in February, the other one I'm hoping that is gonna be released either at the end of March or the beginning of April. And it's the Sierra Nevada poncho and the Sierra Nevada beanie. So here you're gonna see some pictures of both pieces. I'm working on these patterns in collaboration with Hobbii Yarn. I'm using their Fluffy Day XL yarn in a beautiful lavender tone for these two pieces. So this poncho is being designed to, it could be for intermediate knitter, or if you're a very adventurous beginner, this is something that you can work on, that you can, I'm thinking you're going to enjoy yourself while you work on this piece, because there are just a few things that you need to work on while you need this poncho. It's a beautiful, it has a beautiful turtleneck, and then you have the poncho, you can adjust it to the length that you desire, and also the Sierra Nevada beanie. You can see how it looks here. You can see how it looks here. It's a very soft yarn, beautiful, beautiful color. And I have been making a lot of Sierra Nevadas on repeat. Again, I don't have too many pictures of the pieces that I have been making on this pattern, because they have been for family members, so I have sent them already to their new homes. This pattern, the Sierra Nevada beanie, is currently under testing, and the poncho is going to be tested in the next few days. So again, I am looking forward to see the work of the testers, how their beanie look. This pattern is going to be released in February as well. So I'm going to have two pattern releases on February, the Milagro sweater and the Sierra Nevada beanie. Then after this is going to be the poncho, and then after that, let's see. Let's see. There are a few patterns in the works, and it's very exciting. One of the changes that I made for 2023 is that I am not going to be making any more ready to ship pieces to the website. As a maker, I have been knitting for about 14 years. Very early on, I started selling my finished pieces. I used to go to craft markets, pop-up markets, events, and it was absolutely amazing, so much fun. And in the last few years, I have been just local, especially since I had my children. I stayed local because most of my shows were in New York, and it was just too, it was quite a drive. Those days were just very long and too exhausting. And with two children, it was very hard to do that. So my craft markets were local. Sadly, with COVID happening, this place closed. So right now, I don't have that place to go to anymore, but I'm hoping that maybe this year I can do a craft market, at least one, to stay in touch with the neighbors. But I'm working with one of the local yarn stores, so they still carry some of the pieces that I make. So that's great, because I didn't want to lose touch with the neighbors. So the pieces that I make for this store, they are just exclusive. Sorry, the pieces that I make for this store are exclusive to them. Whatever they have, I don't have in my website. I don't offer that anywhere. That's just for them. So that leaves me with a lot of freedom to have everything else on my website. But the thing is that, again, with COVID and all of that, things are not the same. This last year, 2022, was not the same. And the decision has to be made. It was a little hard, but it was a no-brainer. I couldn't keep up making, purchasing yarns, and giving all the time to knit pieces that in other years, as soon as you put it to the website, they would have been gone. That didn't happen, just a few pieces left. So I made the decision to stop that. I'm not gonna be buying lots of yarn to make all the beanies that I wanted, or all the cowls that I wanted, because I knew that they were gonna find a forever home right away. Instead, what I decided to do is, because I still have a lot of loyal customers. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have custom orders. So I'm gonna put something that is gonna be available as a pre-order. So you get to order your beanie. There's gonna be a time frame. I'm gonna make that especially for you and send it your way. So that is gonna be good in the sense of time management, business wise, and all that time that I dedicated to make and make and make, I'm gonna be now going to my sketchbooks and sketch notebooks, sorry, and I'm gonna be putting all those drawings in there into a reality with the yarn. So I have lined up a few collaborations with yarn companies. It's amazing. I am very busy in turning these patterns into reality, and it is exciting. I remember when I was a teenager, there were two things that I wanted to be. I wanted to be a business administration because my family, they own businesses, and I wanted to work there. I love that side. And I also wanted to be a fashion designer. I ended up being an early childhood educator, which I love. I really loved working with children, learning, and it was just amazing years being a teacher. I quit my job right before I was pregnant with my son, and now I get to homeschool my son and my daughter. So when I'm working on the sketches and choosing the yarns, I mean, those memories from when I wanted to be a fashion designer, they just come back to my memory. I spent, I mean, so many afternoons drawing and drawing with my cousins, with my friends, and deciding. And the thing is that back home in Colombia, there were a lot of designers and seamstresses where you would go to get dresses made. I mean, it's not rare that a lot of people they have a seamstress to make for them whatever they want. You go choose the fabric, you bring it to them, measurements and all of that. What is it that you want? And I love to see them when they say, Yessy, what is it that you want? How do you want the skirt? How you want the fit over here? How wide do you want it on the hips and things like that? And I mean, all these memories start coming back when I'm working on the sketches and designing yarns and colors and all of that. So I'm really, really enjoying this part. It's a little bit of a lower pace. I feel that it was that this is just amazing. I'm really really enjoying that. So when I put these patterns out there, when you see the final piece, I hope that you think of me with a notebook and a pen or a pencil, a bunch of markers or color pencils, and just drawing and sketching. My daughter and I usually get together for that, and we design together. So she gives me ideas, I get my ideas, and we have just an amazing time. Again, if you have been following me on Instagram, for example, or even in the newsletter, you can see that a lot of things I do with her. She's 8 years old, she's gonna be 9 very soon, and we have been spending hours and hours and hours crafting. You name it, we have done it. One of the things that we truly enjoy working on is making bracelets. So we started making bracelets when she was about 4 or 5 years old. And when I used to go to the craft shows, she would bring all the bracelets that we have made, and everything was offered at those craft shows. And now I have, if you go to my website on jessysdesigns.com, you're gonna see a section that says handmade jewelry, and all the jewelry that you see there we have made together. So we wanted to continue offering these pieces to you, and we have the best time ever. Recently, now talking about her, she started knitting again. She asked me to teach her how to knit when she was about 4, and she started making a scarf, but it just she lost interest. I don't think she really, I mean, she enjoyed working on it the little bit that she worked, but she lost interest. And maybe I'm gonna say less than a month ago, she asked me to teach her how to knit again. So I'm gonna show you here a little video of her working on her scarf. So here we are using Pound of Love from Lion Brand Yarn, and I was amazed at how quickly she got the net stitch. We are just knitting. This is just a garter stitch scarf, and you can see at the bottom all the little waves that it has. Maybe she knit an extra stitch, so I had to knit it together. I didn't want to correct the whole row. I said just leave those little mishaps in there, those little mistakes in there, because when you wear your scarf, you're gonna remember that this was your first piece. And usually our first piece has a lot of little mistakes in there. And I wanted her to see how she, I don't want to say how she got better, but let's say how she got it. Um, and it's just very pretty. She finishes her school and we paint or we do something, we go out. And at some point she says, I just want a knit. When it's time, let's say for dinner, I say, okay, dinner is ready. And she screams all by herself, just one more row. And she keeps going. So I tell her that that bottom of the scarf looks like the waves of the sea. So she said, wow, I'm a designer too. So it's really cute. So we sit together and we knit for a little bit, and it's really nice. So this is her first scarf. I took her to where is it, Joann's, I think, the other day because I needed to get something for card making. And she said, I wanna go to the yarn section. And she was looking at all these yarns, and there was this one yarn. I'm gonna show it to you. This one yarn that she saw, and she just hugged it. Let me see this one. Look at this. So it has all shades of pink and soft tones. This is from Loops and Threads. This is an acrylic yarn in bulky. So when she finishes the yarn that she's working on, she's gonna be using this yarn for the next scarf. So I thought it was so cute when she just hugged her yarn, and my husband, he just goes, wow. Like, it's not you, it's not just you. Like, this is a thing. So I hope that you enjoy this little clip of her little hands working on her scarf. It's looking really cute. I'm so looking forward to see her wearing and enjoying and say to everybody that she knit that scarf. Okay, so be on the lookout for the release of the Milagro sweater, the Sierra Nevada beanie pattern. Also, when the pattern is released for the Sierra Nevada, there is going to be a blog post talking about why that name, but I'm going to talk about that too when that pattern is released. The best way to know when these patterns are released, I mean, you can follow me on Instagram and Jessy's Designs. But the newsletter, if you go to my webpage, my website, jessysdesigns.com, on the homepage, you go at the bottom and you can subscribe in there. That is the best way to know when everything is released. You don't have to deal with if Instagram showed you or not. You get to know when that is there and enjoy the discount that I usually have for a few days for the newsletter subscribers. So make sure that you subscribe to the newsletter. I also use my newsletter to show you maybe life in the farm, life in the country. Sorry, I don't live in the farm, I live in the country, but I have many farms around us. So some things of life here in the country, or maybe some things that are new in the studio. It's a different way of communication from social media, from Instagram or Facebook, to the way I talk in the newsletters. So I hope that when you see these newsletters, you enjoy reading them. Now, one other thing that I wanted to show you is also on Black Friday. I think this was the only purchase that I made, just talking about yarn, because I got a few clothes, some clothes. So look at this. I got this package by the Woolly Thistle. This is yarn from Jamestown, Shetland, and look at all these beautiful colors. So I haven't taken any of these yarns away from the package. It looks so unbelievably pretty. And I'm thinking of designing either a cowl or a beanie with it. So I haven't made up my mind yet as to exactly how I want it to look, because I'm busy with the other patterns that I'm going to release, but I look forward to sit down with this beautiful package and decide what they are gonna look like when they are made. Okay, now I'm gonna show you one of my finished pieces. I'm sure that most of you, if you're a knitter, you're familiar with the Sophie shawl. I made I have made a few Sophie shawls. If you go to my website, you are gonna see a few. I think two. There are just two left. Two Sophie shawls on my website as ready to ship pieces, and it's just a beautiful pattern. It's so simple to work on this pattern, and it's so elegant. So I made a small version of the mini shawl with I think this is sport weight yarn or fingering. Is the pattern recommends worsted. This is not worsted, but I wanted something to look very delicate, and I made this for a friend. The yarn that I used here is called Teddy Bear's Picnic. Such a cute name. This is from my friend Helen from Untangled Yarn on Instagram. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful colorway. Let me see if you can see that better. It has a few shades of green, of yellows and creams. It's just beautiful. So my friend, her favorite color is green. So when I had this yarn in my stash and I was like, this is just gonna be perfect. Very, very pretty. So this is gonna be for her. I don't know how clear you can see the yarn because the day that we're having today, I'm sure that you have noticed that sometimes I get a lot of sun. Sometimes it's a cloudy day, but we have a lot of peaks on the sun, of the sun. So that's one of the pieces that I have that I wanted to show you that I finished, but it's gonna be going to its new home in the next week or so. Now, two things that I have been wearing so much this winter. I have been wearing a lot my Northern Views beanie. Look at this. This one has, let me see over here, over here. This one has snowflakes and hearts. It's a beautiful floral design, and I have been wearing it with the matching cowl, the Northern Views cowl. So this has just snowflakes, but you can see that this pattern, if you go to my website, jessysdesigns.com, and you go to knit beanies, no, how is it called? Hat knit patterns, I think, and cowl knit patterns. You're gonna find the Northern Views patterns there, and this comes in two versions. So one version is just snowflakes, and the other version has the snowflakes and the hearts. So when you purchase the beanie pattern, you have the two options. So you get two patterns in one with the snowflakes and the hearts, and one just with the snowflakes. And the same thing with the cowl. You get the two versions in the same pattern, just with snowflakes or snowflakes and hearts. So I have been wearing these ones on repeat. I have obviously the two beanies and the two cowls, and people, they always they look, they haven't asked yet, but it always turns heads because it just looks so cute together. So you can go there and check out this knitting pattern. It's perfect for winter. It's so cute. So I hope that you like it when you get to go there. I'm gonna go now, but before I do, I want to leave here for you a video that I took in the last few days, one of the days after it snowed, and it has some views of the country around our property. I hope that you enjoy it, and I see you next time. Don't forget to like this podcast, this video, if you enjoyed it, and to subscribe. See you next time.